See American Pickers star Frank Fritz's Antique Store's priciest items from $400 cigarette sign to $750 slot machine. Hello everyone, welcome back to my another video. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. American Pickers star Frank Fritz's Antique Store's priciest items have been revealed, including treasures like a $400 cigarette sign to a $750 slot machine. Frank, 59, runs the antique shop Frank Fritz Finds in Savannah, Illinois, located along the Mississippi River in the northwest corner of the state. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal the most expensive items found in Frank's antique shop. An antique slot machine is on sale for $750. A vintage Wills's 3 Castle cigarettes sign is priced at $400, while a Sure Gain Feed Services one will set customers back $350. A test panel is priced at $400, as Frank is charging $150 for a vintage sprinkler. Read more on Frank Fritz. A selection of scales range from $175 to $250. Other items in the store include merchandise, tea sets, records, knickknacks, and more. Business Boost. The U.S. Sun previously reported on Frank Fritz Finds' estimated annual sales, per Experian's Business Valuation Report. Frank Fritz Finds' estimated annual sales are reportedly $25,000. The company's business credit score is 27 and is medium risk. According to the report, this score predicts the likelihood of serious credit delinquencies within the next 12 months. As for the financial stability risk ratings, the shop received a medium-high risk of 4 out of 5 rating. The report claims this means there is a 10% potential risk of severe financial distress within the next 12 months. A lawyer for Frank did not respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment. QSTMR COMPLANTs. Frank Fritz Finds customers have complained about the store in recent months. One customer wrote, "I was a huge fan of the show. I stopped in to give Frank support and see what all the buzz was about. The place looked like an episode of Hoarders. Staff was rude. Just disappointing. How is this place in business?" A third commented, "The antique store that time forgot. Enter through the bar, past the kitchen. A couple decades ago, this was the best antique store for miles, with many, many vendors on multiple floors. It is housed in a local landmark, which was a big draw in itself. It is now a shadow of its former self, though they do appear to be repairing and working on it. There are 2 rooms of random old things, some nice and a lot not." A fourth said, "Nice people, but in all honesty, it was almost like seeing things that were left in an attic. It would not be my first choice to check out around the area." Frank's CONSERVATORSDI. Frank hasn't been as involved in the business, as he suffered a stroke in July 2022. Frank's close friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18, claiming his decision-making capacity is so impaired from the stroke. The conservatorship papers exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun revealed plans to revamp filed by conservator Midwest-owned bank Reed. Mr. Fritz is a well-known collector and has numerous outbuildings full of valuable collections. The conservator has not yet inventoried those items, but plans to leave them largely as they are now, with the exception of stocking Mr. Fritz's antique store in Savannah, IL as needed. Conservator is hopeful Frank will be able to participate in selection and pricing of items as he did previously. Frank's firing. Frank last appeared on American Pickers during a March 2020 episode, as he took time off to recover from back surgery that left him with 185 stitches and 2 rods in his spine. He also told the U.S. Sun that he entered rehab for alcohol addiction in Iowa for 77 days. Frank revealed his feud with co-star Mike during the 2021 interview with the U.S. Sun. Frank said, "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years. He knew my back was messed up, but he didn't call me up and ask how I was doing. That's just how it is." The show is tilted towards him 1,000%. "I can't even bend that far down to show you how much." That's fine. It's like you've got Aerosmith and there's Steven Tyler and he's the frontman. I found my spot. I'm second, and he's number 1 on the show. That's no problem with me. Maybe he does have a problem. Friends again. But a friend told the Quad City Times that Frank and Mike had a tearful reunion over Memorial Day weekend. A source claimed to the U.S. Sun, everything between them is fine. They've known each other for 40 years. They went to high school. They've done all this stuff together. The insider said Mike has visited Frank a handful of times since he suffered the stroke, as the two call and text today as well. Frank's return. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank is even in talks to return to the show 1 year after suffering a stroke in July 2022. A source close to Frank told the U.S. Sun, "I don't know why he wouldn't return to the show. He could go back to the show maybe. He watches the new episodes. He'll laugh about it. Got to find something on there to razz them about. He'll tell them about it." The show currently stars Mike, his brother Robbie, Danielle Colby, and guests including Jersey John. Frank Fritz, known for his role on the popular reality TV series American Pickers, has long been an icon in the world of antiques. Alongside his co-host Mike Wolfe, Fritz has scoured the United States in search of rare, valuable, and often historical treasures. Whether it's an old gas pump, a vintage jukebox, or a unique piece of Americana, Frank's knack for finding these hidden gems has earned him a reputation as one of the best in the business. However, his role as a picker doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. In addition to his work on the show, Frank Fritz is also the proud owner of an antique store, where some of his most prized finds are Frank's hometown of LeClaire, Iowa. Frank Fritz's antique store is a treasure trove of unique, vintage, and sometimes peculiar items. From old advertising signs to rare furniture, the store showcases the wide variety of objects Frank has collected throughout his career as an antique picker. Over the years, Frank has developed a sharp eye for what makes a valuable piece, often purchasing items that others might overlook. His store is a testament to his deep knowledge of antiques and his passion for preserving the past. One of the most intriguing aspects of Frank Fritz's antique store is the diversity of items it holds. Some pieces are inexpensive and accessible to the average shopper, while others are rare, high-ticket items that attract serious collectors. Among the store's most prized possessions are a few notable pieces that stand out due to their rarity, history, and value. These items, such as a $400 cigarette sign and a $750 slot machine, serve as a reminder of Frank's deep connection to the world of antiques and his commitment to curating a collection that is both impressive and intriguing. The $400 cigarette sign, a nostalgic piece of advertising history. Among the most sought-after items in Frank's antique store is a vintage cigarette advertisement sign, which commands a hefty price tag of $400. The sign, which dates back several decades, is a prime example of the kind of nostalgic Americana that Frank seeks out when picking. Cigarette advertising from the mid-20th century is highly collectible, as it represents an era before the rise of anti-smoking campaigns and the eventual regulation of cigarette marketing. These signs, which were once a ubiquitous sight in stores, gas stations, and public spaces, now serve as relics of a time when smoking was a more socially accepted habit. The $400 cigarette sign in Frank's store is particularly special because of its condition and design. The sign, which features bright colors and bold typography, is a piece of vintage advertising art that would have been eye-catching in its time. Collectors who are drawn to such items appreciate the craftsmanship that went into creating these signs, as well as the historical significance they hold. For many, owning a piece of vintage cigarette advertising is not just about the object itself, but about owning a piece of history, a snapshot of a bygone era in American culture. Vintage cigarette signs are often sought after by collectors who focus on advertising memorabilia, as well as those who have a particular interest in the tobacco industry's history. These items can fetch high prices at auction or in private sales, with the value depending largely on the rarity and condition of the sign. The $400 price tag for Frank's cigarette sign is a reflection of both its age and its place within the larger context of collectible Americana. The $750 slot machine, a glimpse into gambling history. Another standout piece in Frank Fritz's antique store is a vintage slot machine, priced at $750. This item is particularly noteworthy because slot machines from the early to mid-20th century are highly desirable to collectors and gambling enthusiasts alike. The machine, which is in good working condition, offers a glimpse into the history of American gambling, an industry that has seen dramatic changes over the years. Slot machines have been a staple of casinos and gaming establishments since the late 19th century, and older models are often seen as valuable antiques. The $750 slot machine in Frank's store is a piece of gaming history, and its high price is justified by its rarity, condition, and historical significance. For collectors of gambling memorabilia, owning a vintage slot machine is akin to owning a piece of Americana, capturing the spirit of early 20th century entertainment and leisure. In addition to the nostalgic value of these machines, collectors also appreciate the mechanical complexity that goes into making them. Older slot machines were often hand-cranked and featured intricate mechanisms that are no longer used in modern machines. As such, these vintage models are not just collectibles, but also fascinating examples of early engineering and craftsmanship. Frank Fritz's slot machine is a prime example of the kind of rare and valuable items that Frank specializes in finding. While slot machines may not be as ubiquitous as cigarette signs, they hold a special place in the hearts of collectors who appreciate the history of American gambling. The $750 price tag reflects the machine's rarity, as well as its place within the larger context of the antique picking. How Frank finds these treasures. For Frank Fritz, finding valuable antiques is not just a hobby, it's a passion. His work as a picker for American pickers has allowed him to develop a keen eye for valuable collectibles, and over the years, he has learned how to spot hidden treasures in the most unlikely places. From estate sales to yard sales to long-forgotten barns and storage units, Frank has traveled the country in search of rare and valuable items. Frank's expertise lies in his ability to recognize the potential value of an item, even when it may appear to be just an old, dusty object to the untrained eye. Whether it's an antique sign, a vintage toy, or a piece of historical memorabilia, Frank knows what to look for in order to determine an item's worth. This knowledge, combined with his extensive network of contacts and his reputation as a respected picker, has allowed him to amass an impressive collection of antiques over the years. One of the key aspects of antique picking is understanding the history and provenance of an item. For Frank, it's not just about finding items that are valuable in monetary terms, but also about finding pieces that have a story to tell. Many of the items in his store have fascinating backstories, whether it's a rare advertising piece that once hung in a local diner or a slot machine that was once a fixture in a casino in Las Vegas. These stories add to the charm and appeal of the items, making them even more desirable to collectors. The role of Frank's store in the antique world. Frank Fritz's antique store is more than just a place to buy and sell antiques. It is also a reflection of his passion for preserving the past. As a picker, Frank is constantly seeking out items that tell a story and that have historical significance. His store serves as a curated space where collectors and history enthusiasts can explore these treasures and learn more about the objects that shaped American culture. For many collectors, visiting Frank's antique store is like stepping back in time. The store is filled with an eclectic mix of items from different eras, each with its own unique history and charm. Whether it's a vintage jukebox, an old-fashioned gas pump, or a rare advertising sign, each item in the store offers a glimpse into a different time period, providing visitors with an opportunity to connect with history in a tangible way. Frank's store also serves as a hub for the local community, where people can come to find unique and one-of-a-kind items that they may not be able to find anywhere else. As a beloved figure in the world of antiques, Frank's reputation as a picker has drawn many people to his store, eager to explore the treasures he has collected over the years. Frank Fritz's antique store is a testament to his lifelong passion for collecting rare and valuable items. From the $400 cigarette sign to the $750 slot machine, the store offers a glimpse into the fascinating world of antique picking and the treasures that can be found when you know where to look. Frank's ability to find these hidden gems has made him a respected figure in the world of antiques, and his store continues to be a place where collectors and history enthusiasts can come to explore the past. For anyone interested in the world of antiques, a visit to Frank Fritz's store is an opportunity to see firsthand the incredible treasures that can be found in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.